Hey guys, Tommy with Studio Sense here. Welcome to another video. Hope you're having an awesome day so far today. I've had a few requests regarding Bvlgari, and in specific the Bvlgari Aqva line of fragrances, in particular asking me which I think are the best of the line. So today we're going to be talking about four of the what I think are the best Aqua fragrances in the Bvlgari Aqva line of fragrances. That and more is coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. So today we're talking about that unusual designer that has a V instead of a U in their name, and that is Bvlgari. Bvlgari is a very high quality fragrance designer in the design, genre or arena of fragrances. And in particular, we're going to be taking a look at the Bvlgari Aqva line, starting with Bvlgari Aqva Pour Homme. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about these fragrances is they're very unusually shaped. The presentation is kind of odd. It looks like a UFO kind of hovering, and it's really difficult to sit on a shelf if you don't have the actual little holder that they often don't come with. Often the fragrance will come in a little plastic stand such as this that you can sit on the shelf very nicely, and that way it sits up. You can see the presentation. Others that are walking by your fragrance display can actually see the what I call pebble display. If you order directly from the Bvlgari website, they'll typically include the actual plastic stand free of charge. So that's kind of a nice caveat of working with Bvlgari directly. Sometimes they'll come with discounter Bvlgari fragrances, but more often than not, they won't be included. One of the recommendations that I can make regarding not only the ones we're talking about today, but any of the Bvlgari Aqva line of fragrances, if you can, and if it's available, get the tester. The benefit of ordering a tester is that it's not only going to be 98+% full, but you'll also not have to worry about a missing lid, because this particular presentation all has to come together. There's nothing that actually comes apart. So you don't have to worry about a missing lid or a missing portion of the presentation. You're going to get the whole thing at a much better pricing structure. Some of these that we're talking about today, I've gotten as testers. Now, the first fragrance we're featuring is the original Aqva Pour Homme. This came out in 2005. This is pretty highly rated on most fragrant websites, whether you're referring to Parfumo.net, Fragrantica, Base Notes, Perfume Master. At the top of the composition, there are notes of petitgrain and mandarin. The core of the fragrance contains lavender, cotton blossom, something called Neptune grass, and then it finishes strongly with clary sage, mineral amber, and Virginia cedar wood. One thing I'll make mention about that I really appreciate about the Bvlgari Aqva line of fragrances, in starting with Aqva Pour Homme, not only does it smell amazing, and not only is it very masculine and very refreshing in terms of the aquatic notes and that green Neptune grass, it gives it kind of a refreshing green, mineralic, yet very inviting kind of warm vibe. It is the quality of the fragrance that typically stands out, and that's what makes it feel great for situations that are a little bit more upscale than your typical casual aquatic fragrance out there. Now, there's nothing wrong with wearing these fragrances casually. In fact, I highly recommend doing so. I'm just saying that you don't need to put it on the shelf when you're ready to be a bit more formal. You'll notice that this is great for formal settings and situations, and in particular, another one that we're going to be talking about today. So we'll set this one aside. Fantastic fragrance. Highly recommend starting out with Aqva Pour Homme. Then we're going to move on up to the year 2008, where another Aqva fragrance was released and became very popular, and that is Aqva Pour Homme Marine. Now, marine, just like the name implies, is a bit more oceanic. It's a bit more sea salty, lightly briny. Now, when I use that word briny, I tend to think of, fish drying out in the sun, or something that smells very fishy, or like a bucket of chum or something like that. Briny in terms of seawater or ocean spray. Something that's got like a light salty background, still has that kind of oceanic smell to it that makes you think of the beach or the deep ocean. And marine is perfect for that. This opens with grapefruit and neroli, so it's got a great refreshing citrus open. It maintains that Neptune grass in the heart with a little bit of spicy rosemary, similar to the original Aqva Pour Homme, but a little bit more refreshing green. So that Neptune grass goes a long way in this particular fragrance. One of my favorite aspects of marine. Then you've got that mineral amber that was in the original Aqva Pour Homme, and then white cedar as opposed to Virginia cedar, which is similar. It's just a little bit of a lighter wood. This one's going to be a bit better for casual situations and environments, as opposed to how Aqva Pour Homme, the OG, is a bit more refined. This one isn't quite as much. However, having said that, it is one of my favorite quick reach dumb grabs right out of the shower. One of the most refreshing Bvlgari Aqva fragrances, Bvlgari Aqva Marine. Moving on up to 2014 and positioning itself as one of my absolute favorite Bvlgari Aqva fragrances ever is a fragrance that is now discontinued. Actually, it's been discontinued for quite some time. However, thankfully, it's not been that hard to find, and that is Aqua Amara. Aqua Amara has been one of the most galvanizing Bvlgari Aqva releases. It seems to be a rather polarizing fragrance. This one, again, similar to Marine, is one that I find myself grabbing quite a bit. The unusual quality of Aqua Amara is it not only does carry that marine kind of feel and that aquatic freshness, it throws a very fascinating and pleasant wrinkle into the mix, and that is orange. It opens with a Sicilian mandarin orange and neroli, so it's orange on top of orange, basically. You've got aquatic notes and mineral notes in the heart, and basically a bit of patchouli, and in lieu of the mineral amber, this one actually has frankincense in the base. It makes sense that it's a galvanizing or polarizing fragrance to people because it's one of those that once you smell it, you either like it immediately or you don't like it. There's really no sitting on the fence when it comes to Aqua Amara. This is still, I'm going to recommend, a very safe blind buy. Now, Aqua Amara is wholly a casual fragrance. I wouldn't necessarily wear this in an upscale environment, although you can. It just has a really nice, relaxed, marine orange, casual feel to it. Definitely one of the best Bvlgari Aqva fragrances, Aqua Amara. And again, I recommend grabbing it up while you can. It's been discontinued for quite some time, but it's yet been available. There's going to be a day where you can't even get it on gray sites, and that's going to be coming in the very near future. So grab it up while you can, while you have an opportunity to do so. The last of the 4 Bvlgari Aqva fragrances that I'm going to recommend owning today that we're featuring is Aqua pour Homme Atlantiqve. Atlantiqve is a perfect example of taking a fragrance DNA and profile like the original Aqua pour Homme and adding some fragrant notes to it that gives it a more modern, fresh, signature scent, everyday wear kind of appeal. That's exactly the territory that this fragrance traverses. It is a fantastic daily wear fragrance for warm weather. It's equally as good, and in my estimation, a bit better and a bit more refined than Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue or Light Blue Eau Intense. It's got that same refreshing sea salt breeze appeal to it, and yet it goes a bit farther by adding a little bit of ambergris, benzoin, patchouli, and sandalwood. Now, the interesting thing about ambergris literally comes from a sea creature, right? It's a secretions, you know, intestinal secretions that are dry that come from a sea creature. And so it's appropriate that it be in this. Now, whether that's the chemical composition of ambroxan or not, which is very likely, that's fine, or just a little, because ambergris is like gold. It's very, very expensive. So there is actual ambergris in the fragrance. It's a very little bit, so it's more likely the inexpensive chemical equivalent of ambergris. So there you have it, guys. My recommendation of 4 of the best Aqua fragrances: the original Aqua pour Homme, you've got Aqua pour Homme Marine, you've got Aqua Amara, and Aqua pour Homme Atlantiqve. All of them are safe blind buys, perfect for year-round wear, but especially in the high heat of summer. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking out today's video. If you've used any of these fragrances or you own any of them, let me know what your favorite among them are. Or if it's another Aqua fragrance by Bvlgari, let me know what your favorite is in the comments below. Again, thanks so much for checking out today's video, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.